The new year is here, and with it comes 365 days full of gaming time. Out of all the games you could have picked, you choose Guild Wars 2. And let's be honest, that is a great choice. Whether you're completely new to MMOs or coming back to the game after a long break, this is one of the best times to start your adventures in Tyria. Guild Wars 2 is a living world actively played, constantly updated, and designed in a way that respects your time. But when you first log in, it is normal to feel unsure. Where do you start? What really matters? And what can safely wait? In this video, I want to welcome you, the new player, and guide you through how Guild Wars 2 works, what your early goals should be, and how all the major systems connect together. We will talk about characters and professions, mounts, gears and stats, the story, group content, and what endgame looks like in Guild Wars 2. By the end of this video, you should feel confident logging in, knowing exactly what to focus on first. Welcome to Tyria. Before we talk about classes or gear, it helps to understand what makes Guild Wars 2 different. Unlike many traditional MMOs, Guild Wars 2 does not rely on a subscription fee, and there is no traditional gear treadmill. Once you reach level 80, your gear stays relevant, even years later. Because progression is horizontal, growth comes from unlocking new options rather than replacing old ones. You become stronger through masteries, mounts, elite specializations, and most importantly, through understanding how the game works. This design choice shapes the world itself. Instead of competition, the game encourages cooperation. Events happen dynamically, players naturally gather to take part, and everyone gets rewarded. Therefore, there is no need to rush ahead or keep up with anyone else. You can explore at your own pace, take breaks, and return whenever you like without feeling left behind. Once you understand this mindset, everything else in Guild Wars 2 starts to make sense. The game is not about racing to the end, it is about enjoying the journey. If this kind of calm, beginner-friendly explanation is helpful to you, consider subscribing. I regularly make guides like this to help new players find their way in Tyria. With that mindset in place, your journey begins with creating a character. The first choice you see is your race. In Guild Wars 2, this choice is about identity and story, not power. Your race determines where you start and how your personal story begins, but it does not make you stronger or weaker in combat. That freedom is intentional. It allows you to choose a race based on what feels right to you, whether that is the culture, the look, or the fantasy behind it. Professions work differently. Instead of locking you into a single role, each profession is designed to adapt. Through weapon choices, traits, and later elite specializations, one profession can be played in many ways. For example, a ranger that focuses on dealing damage can later swap into the druid specialization and take on a healing role when the party needs support. You're not expected to understand or commit to these choices right away. The early game is about discovery, learning how your profession feels, and slowly finding a playstyle that fits you. There is no wrong choice here. Your character is a starting point, not a permanent commitment. Once your character enters the world, the game gives you space to breathe. Your first hours should be about learning the rhythm of Guild Wars 2. You explore, complete events, uncover the map, and follow your personal story when it becomes available. Do not worry about builds, gear optimization, or endgame systems just yet. None of that matters early on. Guild Wars 2 introduces complexity slowly, allowing you to focus on movement, combat, and exploration first. If something looks interesting, try it. If it doesn't, move on. The game rewards curiosity more than efficiency.
And my college instructors.
As you spend more time in the world, combat naturally becomes more engaging. Guild Wars 2 uses an action-oriented combat system. Positioning, movement, and timing matters as much as your skills. Your weapon choice defines a large part of how your profession plays. Changing weapons can completely change your role and feel. At first, combat may feel fast or unfamiliar. Over time, you begin to recognize enemy patterns, manage your skills better, and react instead of memorizing rotations. As you learn your profession, you might eventually want a bit of guidance. There are excellent community websites that showcase beginner-friendly core builds for every profession. Sites like SnowCrows and MetaBattle offer solid starting points if you want direction without diving too deep into theory. I will leave links to those resources in the video description. Remember, builds are tools, not rules. They help you learn, but experimenting is always encouraged. As combat becomes clearer, gear starts to make more sense. While leveling, gear is temporary. You replace it often, and the exact stats are not important. At level 80, however, this changes. Gear becomes stable, and progression shifts from replacing items to choosing the right stat for your playstyle. Exotic gear becomes a standard starting point. It is accessible, affordable, and powerful enough for nearly all content. You choose how you want to play, and your gear supports that choice. In Guild Wars 2, mounts are not just a way to move faster from point A to point B. Each one comes with unique movement abilities that let you interact with the world in entirely new ways. You unlock your first mount through the story, with others becoming available later through exploration and achievements. Mounts do not replace how you move, they expand your options. Just like gear and builds, they add flexibility instead of pressure. They enhance exploration and freedom, but they are never required to enjoy the world. Even without mounts, Tyria remains fully playable. If you would like to see more focused videos on things like how to unlock specific mounts, where to find them, or how to use them efficiently, let me know. Leaving a comment or subscribing helps me see what kind of guides you would like next. Alongside gameplay systems, the story unfolds. Guild Wars 2 tells one continuous narrative across its personal story, expansions, and living world seasons. Playing in an order gives your journey structure and naturally introduces new maps and systems. What is important to know as a new player is that you do not need to buy anything right away. Core Tyria is completely free to play all the way to level 80. This means you can experience the full base game, learn the systems, and decide if Guild Wars 2 is right for you without spending anything. Expansions come into play once you want more freedom and more options. This is where features like gliding, mounts, elite specializations, and new story chapters are unlocked. At the time of recording, Guild Wars 2 offers a bundle of 3 expansions for $49.99. This bundle is often the best value if you know you want to continue, as it unlocks most of the game's long-term systems at once. That said, there is no rush. You can start for free, take your time, and only invest when you feel ready. Just like everything else in Guild Wars 2, progression through expansions is about expanding your experience, not forcing you forward. As your confidence grows, you may start looking toward group content. Dungeons offer early cooperative experiences, and fractals build on that foundation with scaling difficulties and mechanics. Later content, like strike missions and raids, provides structured challenges for players who enjoy coordination and mastery. None of this is mandatory. Group content exists as an option, not an obligation. You decide how social or challenging your experiences become. Eventually, you may wonder what endgame means in Guild Wars 2. Instead of a single goal, endgame is defined by choice. Some players chase difficult encounters, others focus on achievements, legendary gear, or even fashion. Progress continues sideways rather than upwards. You build a wider toolkit, not a tall ladder. Therefore, endgame is not a finish line. It is a space where you set your own goals, choose what challenges to pursue, and shape your own experience in the world. Guild Wars 2 is a game designed to be lived in, not rushed through. Take your time, explore when you feel curious, push yourself when you feel ready. If you ever feel lost, remember that nothing is truly wasted. Every step contributes to your journey in some way. Tyria will still be here whenever you return, and your adventure is only just beginning.